We're a few weeks past Thanksgiving as I shoot this, so maybe the sentiment is slightly out of date, but do you know something I'm thankful for as a Star Trek fan? I'm thankful this current production era of the franchise began before the studio saw a bunch of Trekkies losing their minds online over this shit. Just in case you've never seen it before, that's a clip from a short film titled Unification, produced by Otoy and the Roddenberry Archive under a license from Paramount, with the participation of both William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy's estate. It was released on YouTube a few weeks ago to coincide with the 30th anniversary of the theatrical release of the film Star Trek Generations, and it has since garnered over 3.5 million views, and its comment section is filled with people gushing about how wonderful it is and how it made them cry and how grateful they are to the people who made it. Trekkie podcasters and streamers and YouTubers, even some who have had nothing positive to say about any recent Star Trek project, have praised it as this beautiful, precious work that exemplifies what Star Trek is all about, and I just... Okay, before I say all the things I'm about to say, let me say this. If you watched this short film and it meant something to you, I think that's great. The short depicts Captain Kirk following his death as seen in Generations, being transported through time and across universes to be at the deathbed of Spock, and I've seen a lot of people who connected with it on that basis, saying it reminded them of a death in their family, or it made them wish they could have had such a farewell moment with a loved one of theirs who died, or it makes them hope that when their time comes, their friends and family will be with them the way Kirk is with Spock. That's really deep, personal stuff. And if you liked this short for that reason, or shit, for any other reason, I'm not trying to tell you you're wrong for liking it. It's all a matter of taste. Like what you like. As for me, I did not like it. I don't like it for what it is, and I don't like it for what it represents as far as the future of Star Trek, not to mention film and television overall, if this sort of thing becomes more common. Why don't I like it for what it is? Because, actually, it's better to approach it from the opposite side and say it this way. I don't like the Unification short for what it isn't. Because what it isn't is creative. What it isn't is something with a single artistic reason to exist. What it isn't is a story. How do I know it's not a story? Easy. To those of you who liked it, would you have liked it just as much if Kirk and Spock had been played by new actors instead of special effects recreations of the Shatner and Nimoy versions? My guess is most of you would say no. Of course you would, because recreating the Shatner and Nimoy versions of Kirk and Spock and leveraging the audience's investment in those versions of the characters is the whole point of the thing. Because it's not a story. What it is a stunt. What it also is an extravagantly produced bit of fanwank. It's mushy, pandering, sentimentalist wish fulfillment for fans with an unhealthy attachment to the characters, and it's an exercise in shallow, cynical lore baiting for fans who are overly obsessed with the canon. Hey, look, it's Gary Mitchell! Hey, look, it's Yeoman Colt from The Cage, who is bizarrely central to all of these Roddenberry Archive shorts. Hey, look, it's Saavik, actually played by Robin Curtis. Hey, look, it's this guy. Apparently he's meant to be the son Saavik had with Spock after they had implied off-screen sex on the Genesis planet following Spock's resurrection. Well, obviously. Hey, look, it's this guy who was referenced in one episode of Star Trek Discovery as having crossed over from the Kelvin timeline to the Prime timeline, which I guess makes him the fucking boatman on the trans-dimensional river Styx or something. Was the dude who played the human version of the Guardian of Forever not available? Or was he not a deep enough cut? And of course, hey look, it's Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk at 3 separate stages of his life simultaneously at one point, and he's going to see Spock before Spock dies. Hey look, it's Spock! Don't get up. Hey look, it's the exact same handshake they did in Star Trek the Motion Picture, because everything has to be a direct fucking reference to something. I'm honestly shocked that neither Kirk nor Spock does the Vulcan salute. I think that may be the one truly impressive thing about this project. The amount of restraint it must have taken on the part of these filmmakers to not include somebody putting up one of these, if converted to energy, could light New York City for the next 10 years. Alongside all the things it isn't, what this unification short is a digital effects demo reel. When I look at it with an eye for its technical qualities and only its technical qualities, it's a very good digital effects demo reel. The deepfake effect they used to put William Shatner's face on Sam Witwer's body is maybe the best effect of its kind I've ever seen. It's realistic and expressive and almost convincing. The effect used to recreate Leonard Nimoy's Spock is equally impressive, and, if the claims of Otoy and the Roddenberry archive are to be believed, accomplished without digital assistance. Apparently, it's just actor Lawrence Selleck, who, with the help of some conventional makeup and prosthetics, really looks like Leonard Nimoy. The resemblance between the two men is uncanny, but I'm still not convinced there isn't some supplementary deepfakery going on. Either way, kudos for accomplishing your goal of making the dude on the screen look exactly like the dead dude who played Spock. As you might have guessed, that is my problem with the short regarding what it represents for the future of Star Trek and the rest of film and television. I know William Shatner and the Nimoy family endorsed this. I know Shatner is credited as a producer on it. That's great. If this sort of thing is going to be done, it's better that it be done with the permission and cooperation of the people being deepfaked, or their family or estate if that person is dead. But you know what I think is even better than that? Not doing it at all. Personally, I'd love it if Star Trek moved away from using legacy characters altogether and focused instead on creating new characters played by new actors, you know, like it did when the franchise first expanded beyond Star Trek the original series in the 1980s and 90s. But if the creators of new Star Trek projects, or the studio bosses who employ them, insist on bringing back established characters from previous shows, and the original actors are unavailable or no longer right for the part due to age or whatever, how about they just cast new actors? It just might work. You know? Imagine if this deepfake technology was this good or better but a few years ago, and instead of casting new actors to play the legacy characters in Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Paramount had decided to just deepfake them all. Instead of Ethan Peck playing Spock or Celia Gooding playing Uhura, we'd have the faces of Leonard Nimoy and Nichelle Nichols digitally pasted onto the heads of body doubles. Instead of Rebecca Romijn playing number one, we'd have a digitally recreated Majel Barrett. At least in that case, the flat wooden performance of the deepfake would be appropriate. Instead of Anson Mount reinterpreting Captain Pike and making him the best and most beloved character of the current era of the franchise, we'd get Jeffrey Hunter resurrected through digital grave robbery to reprise the role he played once, almost 60 years ago, in a rejected pilot. Does any of that sound appealing to you? If it does, I think you're watching the wrong YouTube channel, because it sounds like shit to me. It sounds like a show that would be nothing like the version of Strange New Worlds I've come to know and love. A show built around a cast of incredibly talented actors, many of whom are playing characters that were originated by other actors, but who have been given the freedom to play those characters their way, to do something new with them, to be creative. Without creativity and imagination and humanity, there is no art. There's just product. There's just content. I love William Shatner's Kirk and Leonard Nimoy's Spock as much as anybody. But that phase of the franchise is over. They made their show. They made their movies. They gave their performances. Lucky for us, they were recorded, and we can watch them and enjoy them whenever we want, and we should. But when it comes to making new stuff under the Star Trek umbrella, let the past stay the past. Let the dead rest. That's not William Shatner. And that's not Leonard Nimoy. Those are masks placed over the faces of other actors to make it look like you're watching your favorite characters played by their original actors. What you're actually watching is a superficial masquerade created to exploit the nostalgia of fans who just can't let shit go. I don't know about you, but that's not what I want Star Trek or anything else to be. Time to let it go. Time to allow a new generation to take it from here. Create new characters, give new performances, tell new stories. Be creative, take chances, and, as someone once said, let's see what's out there.